Hi and welcome to South Regional TAFE of Bunbury Campus Virtual Open Day for our ICT area. Thank you for joining us. And here with me this afternoon, I have Jacob, one of our IT lecturers, that's going to fill you in on all the certificates we do here and the qualifications you can undertake in our 4 tailored computer rooms there that actually give you a really good industry look at the qualifications we provide. Jacob?
Okay, thanks Amber. So we do have Certificate 2 to the diploma level courses. So I guess we'll start at the Certificate 2 level. This is a general entry level qualification where students learn, I guess, the fundamentals of the IT industry and look at different fields within that industry. And that course goes for 6 months, 1 semester, and it's broken down into different study areas. So we get a bit of a taste of each of those areas. So those areas are software packages, which is all about business applications like Word, Excel and databases. Also, we've got the digital media, which is photography, image manipulation using the Adobe suite and Photoshop and such. And then I guess we've got the computer hardware maintenance, which is all about computer hardware maintenance, fixing computers, diagnosing problems. We get to strip apart computers, build them up from scratch and have some fun with that. So
fantastic. So students actually get their hands dirty, so to speak, pulling something apart.
Yeah, they do.
That's excellent. And is that course offered in a classroom setting as well as externally?
It is, yeah. So there's some components which are necessary to be on campus. So yeah, we can negotiate that with each student if they do want to do it flexibly, but otherwise we have labs set up specific for each of those areas. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I guess the best thing about classroom at TAFE means that while you're in a classroom, it's not all text-based. You are doing physical things, doing all the stuff on the actual computers, but then also pulling them apart. Because I'd rather do that here than do it to my own computer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and the students enjoy that, and I guess that's one of the best parts of the course is pulling apart the computers and all the other parts as well. But I guess that's sort of my favourite area too.
Yeah, it always looks really interesting.
Yeah, I guess onto there. Well, moving forward to the Certificate 3, if you opt to do that, we've got 2 different specialist streams, which is the networking stream and the web development stream. So the networking stream, of course, is all about setting up computer networks, designing and implementing those networks. So I guess an example of that would be a small business where you would be tasked with setting up the actual computers, the servers, the routers, coming up with an IP addressing scheme, those types of things. And then the other stream for the Cert 3 is the web development stream. Of course, is about web development. So we specialise in coding using JavaScript, HTML and CSS, and students get into building websites from scratch and using web authoring tools as well.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah, and I guess from there we can look at doing a Cert 4 in IT. And again, we've got 2 different streams, the networking stream and the web stream. The networking stream, again, is about installation, configuration, monitoring, administration of networks. Yep. And goes further into the sort of enterprise networks and small business networks. From there, you could opt to do a diploma in networking, which brings that to, again, the enterprise level type networking, switching and routing using, I guess, Cisco technologies at this stage. And also they do a lot of, they deal with project management as well, so at a higher level. The other, going back, pathway to the Cert 4 in web development, that focuses on building web applications. So we look at building the back end to the front end. We use technologies such as SQL Server to build the back-end database. Okay. Then we hook up that back-end with the .NET framework, including the C# language. So all of that is really technical, but we get right into that and end up with a functional, fully fledged web application where you've got data on the back end and interaction at the front end.
And I suppose that's fantastic because here you can start at the Cert 2 level and you have a pathway to work all the way up to that, because you're going, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that to save myself.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is technical, but starting at the Cert 2, students find that they can achieve that. You know, we take it step by step and it builds up to, you know, those technical levels, and we do have success in those areas. So.
Excellent. And I know that the course here is very industry based for the local industry and also international, so that you actually, when you walk out of here with your qualifications, you are very job ready and highly employable with the skills you've actually got.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use those industry technologies and industry skills, and we keep abreast of those things and make sure that students do know what it's going to be like in the real world, building these technologies, networking or coding and such. Yeah.
And I suppose the great thing about starting at the Cert 2 level working up is that you actually get a little taste of both of the different strengths and actually work out where your strengths lie. If you're interested in the networking side or in the web side. And
yeah, they are very different strengths.
Yeah.
So that does give you, a good taste of things. So the Cert 2 gives you a taste of, we talk about networking, we talk about web development, and you do implement some of those technologies at the Cert 2 level, and that will give you a good little view into which of the pathways might be best for you.
Excellent. And can you just give me a little, just for my own understanding, like a Cert 2 level, if someone walked out of here with a Cert 2, what sort of job roles would that be looking at?
Yeah, so at Cert 2 level, maybe a junior help desk officer or a media officer or those types of roles.
Okay, and then your Cert 3 would be like more like your help desk officer and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, more of a help desk officer. So again, entry level roles. Probably help desk officer, PC support, junior website admin, and of course there's different pathways into each of those areas. And again, going to the Cert forward, bring you to a higher level and then diploma again.
Okay, fantastic. Should we open up to any questions?
Yeah, let's do that.
Wonderful. So I will just advise anybody that's joined us this afternoon that this is actually a recorded session. So please feel free, you don't have to have your camera on and you don't have to have a display name. You can just use the user if you prefer. But please fire your questions at us because no question is a silly question and we're here to answer them. Okay, so Alison, do you have a question? All right, I'm just going to double check our chat. Okay, so I've got a question here, Jacob.
Sure.
Do I need textbooks?
You don't need textbooks. All of our resources are online. In fact, the whole course structure is online, the resources and the assessment. We use the learning management system Blackboard, so you can access all your stuff from home and from within the classroom. So that, I guess, all of that material is there for you on day one, although saying that we do lectures and structured learning all the way through. So no textbooks, everything's available online.
That's a really great way of keeping the cost down too.
Yep.
I have another question here, and is do you use Mac or Windows?
We use both the Mac and Windows operating systems. So the Windows the Mac area, we have our digital media lab there. So that's fully kitted out with new Macs, and of course we do all the digital media, the animation and video editing and such.
Actually, I've seen that room and it looks pretty impressive, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We do have another question here. What happens if I hand my assessments in late?
If you hand in your assessments late, before you do that, normally we get students to negotiate with the lecturer if there is a need to hand in your work late. So we have our structures, our timelines for when all the assessments are due.
Yeah.
And then we encourage students to hand in their working time on time. But if that isn't possible, you can sometimes negotiate with your lecturer.
Yeah, and I know it's usually like applying writing like a week beforehand to say, look, I time.
We fire off an email or we can just talk directly to the
Yeah,
lecturer.
and I suppose that's the greatest thing about TAFE is that it's not structured like school. We base things on competency. So are you competent in this or not? No one's receiving A, B's and C's, or you've got 70% or only 50. It's completely based on actual competence-based training where you're actually completing a skill and being able to move on. And our lecturers are here to assist and make sure that you're getting the most out of your training and the most assistance you can get with your assessments. So there's another question here. Can I learn game design?
You can learn the fundamental skills that might be involved in game design. We don't specifically run a course in game design, but we have the Cert 3 web, Cert 4 web, and in there we learn the fundamentals of programming. So that would be very useful for game design if you wanted to move on into university or go elsewhere. Also, we do the digital media, which is another area of game design, which is important. So we learn, so you could learn both of those things and transfer your understanding and knowledge of those to any type of programming, be it game programming or anything else.
Fantastic. Another question here I've got is, can I learn WordPress?
You can learn WordPress. That's one of the tools that we use within the web development stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I, as a layman, don't even know what WordPress is. But I know that you need a lot of the time to get, that's for like university levels, using WordPress?
Not specifically. It can be for all different types of levels. It's for building websites, and it's a tool that allows you to have utilise add-ins and bring up different functionality depending on what you want to do. You might want to create a forum or lots of other things. So WordPress is a good one for that.
Oh, excellent. Do all the like courses go for 6 months, or is there different timelines that people can follow?
Yep. So Cert 2 goes for 6 months, Cert 3, 6 months, Cert 4 networking goes for 6 months, the Cert 4 web goes for 1 year, and the diploma goes for 1 year.
Diploma as well. Excellent. And is that, so I also know this hasn't been brought up just yet, but I know from other areas they ask, what is full-time? Because here at TAFE, full-time doesn't mean you're actually attending TAFE 5 days a week.
Yep.
So when we say that it goes for 6 months full-time, how many days are they coming for the certificate?
So it's different number of days per certificate. For the certificate 2, it's 2 days a week, but students are expected to put in around the same amount of time at home. So that would be a full-time course. Cert 3 is 3.5 days a week. Cert 4 is 2.5 days, and diploma is 2 days a week.
Fantastic. And then all with that extra study at home. But I suppose if you're currently working and wanting to fit this qualification in, you can always come for, like, say, 2 days a week, or you come to the duration of your course, and then you're spending the other time at home in the evenings and that, getting that done to achieve your goals.
And depending on your skills and so forth, you can negotiate with your lecturer to be able to work out a schedule with them if you can't attend every single class.
Which is fantastic. Like sometimes there's, TAFE can offer that flexibility to students to try and meet your needs, which is fantastic. There's so many questions. So I've got one here about traineeships. Is any of the ICT traineeships available?
They are, yeah, absolutely. We've got trainees in Certificate 2 and Certificate 3. So they can all be run as a traineeship. The Certificate 4 is a bit harder to do as a traineeship, but certainly Certificate 2 and 3 can be done as a traineeship.
And I know that's where the traineeship's actually organised through an employer, and then you can come to TAFE. TAFE don't actually organise those traineeships, but we have the availability for any employers that are looking to put trainees on in the ICT field, that, those certificates are available there, which is fantastic. Are the labs wheelchair accessible?
They are all wheelchair accessible. We've got a lift there.
Okay.
So we're on the 2nd floor, but still we've got a lift there for those reasons.
Fantastic. And this is probably my favourite question so far. Okay. How much writing do I have to do in my assessments? Because I know that's something that I'll be looking at.
That's a question that comes up often. Depends on the course, depends on the units that you're doing. So we have sort of very hands-on. We've got ones, some that are writing-based, or rather documentation, and we all need to do those types of things. So there is a bit of that, but it's also to balance it out, the practical stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's probably it. That here at TAFE, you're not getting exams where you sit down for 3 hours and have to fill out. Yeah, no exams. It's all practical competency-based assessments, and the questions you're asked and that you complete are based on what you're required for your units and your qualifications.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Do we have any more questions at all from anybody? No, looks like there's no more questions at this stage. Is there anything else, Jacob, that you think anyone may need to know?
I think we've covered most of it. We've gone through the courses, the duration. I guess if anyone did want to answer any questions, we're always available. You can contact us outside of this forum and we can answer any of those questions when you have them.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. So TAFE admissions is actually open for anyone that would like to apply for 2021. So if you go to our website and click on the apply and enrol now, there's actually a link to TAFE admissions where you can apply for any of the ICT courses. Alternatively, you can also head to our website and put an inquiry in, which goes through course information, which will actually get you in touch with the lecturer so we can actually work out what's the best pathway for you to meet your training needs and the job that you want at the end of the day. So I think that's, really fantastic that we're get in touch with us. That's what we're here for, and to hopefully get you on your journey to where you want to be. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, Amber.
That was great.
Good.